Hey guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm here to talk about the Vampire Diaries, episode 722, titled Gods and Monsters, which premiered Friday, May 13, 2016 on the CW. And guys, I'm so sorry for the delay, as I'm recording on May 29th. Yeah, that's a while. I kept thinking I recorded already, but apparently my files say I haven't. So I'm here now to talk about it, and let's start with a 15-minute clock. I got a lot to talk about with you guys. And let's begin. So something new that we learned in this episode. So basically, this episode has the mission of stopping Bonnie the Huntress, aka Rada 2.0. So basically, the objective for them is to burn the last body of the Everlasting, which Enzo had confirmed in the previous episode that this is a possible chance that doing so would sever the connection Bonnie has with this Huntress curse, as they're calling it. Problem is, the body of the last Everlasting is inside the magically sealed armory, which has the vault creature on the loose inside, which is why it's sealed up. So yeah, Damon tries everything to get into that, into the armory, explosions, everything, but it just all bounces back. So in the end, they use Alarc's siphon twins to siphon the magic away from the barrier that Bonnie had placed on the armory. And it works too, and they're so adorable when they do it. So in the end, Damon is the one that goes inside the vault. He finds the last body of the Everlasting, and he burns it moments before Bonnie is on the verge of killing Enzo. Just when she's ready to plunge that stake into his heart, her Huntress, her inner Huntress that's urging her to kill, it disappears, and Enzo is spared. Hooray, which had me really, really worried for him. So in the end, Bonnie is back to being herself. She has a huge reunion with Enzo, with kisses and everything. Hang on. I have a cold. I do apologize. Also, we see the end of Alaric and Caroline. Him staying there while he has fallen in love with her and the family they've created. He knows that it's not the same for her, and he gives her his permission to go and figure things out with Stefan. So we see a reunion between Caroline and Stefan as they wait for Damon to come out of the armory after destroying the Everlasting body. Now Damon, just before he's on his way out, and he's actually on the phone with Bonnie and Enzo, getting confirmation from them that burning the body worked, Damon is drawn back into the vault by Elena's voice, calling out to him, saying that she's so lonely, she needs to be saved, even though he knows that Elena's Bonnie is in a warehouse somewhere in Brooklyn. So there's that. Damon gets attacked in that vault by some bony hand representation of whatever is inside the vault, and he manages to lock himself inside. Now, a few days later, or a day later, Enzo comes back, and as a member of the armory, he's the only one that can open the vault. So while everyone is preoccupied, he opens the vault, and it shuts behind him, and now Enzo gets affected by this creature inside the vault with a different Damon as well. So, turns out, a few days later, they managed to open up the vault by by Alaric, hacking into the security code, but it's empty. It's completely empty, which is completely weird. No sign of Damon, no sign of Enzo, no sign of whatever was inside the vault originally. So then we get another flash forward, roughly 3 months later, and the montage is covered with Caroline, Stefan, and Matt giving their own summaries in the form of a journal entry to Elena. Basically, they have no trail of Damon and Enzo until 3 months later, where they're actually noticing a body trail because of them. And Bonnie doesn't have access to her magic anymore, so that's why locator spells aren't an option. And she's completely torn up because not only did she lost her love in Enzo, but she lost Damon again, who was her best friend for some time. We also briefly hear that Matt has left Mystic Falls. We hear briefly of Stefan and Caroline still trying to work things out between the two of them while trying to find Damon and Enzo. And at the very end, we see a slightly different version of the two. You know something is off with them, yet you don't know what exactly, but they have strung up a whole bunch of people in a warehouse, and it looks like they're bleeding them dry. It seems like, to me, first off, it looks like they have their own little blood farm going on. So that's how the episode ends. So, guys, most shocking moment of the episode for me, is the fact that Damon and Enzo are on the loose in this mysterious state of theirs. And I'll get right back into what I think is going to happen with that in predictions. But moving on to top 3 favorite moments. First one has to be the moment between Damon and Stefan. Basically, it's a moment where Damon tells Stefan that he has to let him go. Stefan wants to go into the vault with Damon. He wants to do it together, but Damon wants to do this alone. He doesn't want Stefan to feel like he has to clean things up for him or be there just because he thinks Damon can't do it himself. Damon wants to prove not only to himself but to Stefan that he can do this on his own and that he won't mess up. And essentially, because they hadn't run across the creature anywhere in the armory, they know that it's in the vault somewhere. So that's why Stefan also wants to go in, so that Damon isn't alone in there. But Damon wants to do it even if the creature that they're supposed to fear is inside. And I really like the dynamic in that moment. I really like the hug that came with it for the two of them. I really like that they came to an understanding that Stefan understood that Damon needed to do this on his own, and the fact that Damon asked Stefan for him to do it on his own. I really like that. It was definitely a great moment for them, and even though it did have me a little worried that it kind of sounded like a goodbye. So regardless of that feeling, the fact that they had this moment was definitely much appreciated. Next favorite moment has to be Damon and Enzo. Now, despite the fact that they're kind of the villainous versions of themselves, and they're kind of going on these killing sprees together, what I liked is the fact that we're actually seeing scenes of these two together for the longest time since Enzo came back at the end of season 5. So season 6 and season 7, I've been waiting for Damon and Enzo to have scenes together, waiting for them to rekindle the brotherhood that they had while being trapped in cells together at the in Augustine back in the 50s. I've been waiting for them to rekindle and rebuild that friendship between them and make amends. And the fact that we're actually getting it now, even though it's not in the way I had originally hoped, is why I like it, because we got a bit of it when they were both fighting side by side with the common goal of saving Bonnie from dying from Reina's blood magic, and now they're on killing sprees together. So even though they're kind of doing the whole killing thing, at least they're doing it together, so we kind of, in a way, still get the rekindling of the brotherhood between the two. So I definitely can't wait to see what happens next, but I definitely like the fact that we're finally getting scenes with them. So it took 2 seasons, but we finally have it. And last favorite moment for me has to be seeing Caroline and Alark and how they managed to get their twins to siphon magic from the boundary. And yes, they're young to be brought in the supernatural world, but what I really liked about that scene was just the family unit and seeing how they interact with each other, just how their dynamics are. And the twins are just so adorable too. How can you not love a scene with them? And it was just great to see how the two of them explain things to 3-year-olds in a sense, without scaring them or without them feeling like it's the end of the world, you have to do this and type thing. So I just really liked that scene for sure. Okay, moving on. Top 3 peed moments. One is the fact that Bonnie doesn't have her magic again. It really pisses me off that she's always becoming something and yet it always takes away her magic, and then she has to find a way to get her magic back. But I don't know if there's a way for her to do that this time around. I hope so, because her time in the prison world managed to give her a stronger sense of her magic, I guess you can say. But I really hate that it's not with her anymore, when it's essentially a part of who Bonnie is. It's like a part of her is missing in a sense, and I always hate when a part of her is always taken like that. Another pee moment for me is the fact that we have no idea who the creature in the vault is. I do have a theory on what it could be. I'm going to talk about in prediction, so just bear with me there. But that's what it. So what moment will I remember most when I look back on this episode? The fact that Bonnie's not the Huntress anymore. So glad they finally resolved that. But now we have to deal with the fact that Damon and Enzo are on the loose and they're not really themselves anymore. So there is that. Moving on to random questions. It's just the one. And it is connected to the vault. And it is, what do you think the creature in the vault did to Damon and Enzo? They are the only ones who actually know what is inside the vault because of Virginia, who told Enzo at the asylum. But the scenes always cut out before she actually explained it. And then Enzo always referred to it, and then just before he tells Damon, it cuts out, so us as the audience doesn't know what exactly is in the vault. And we also know from Virginia before that the thing in the vault took away her ancestors' ability to feel anything like compassion or love. So since Damon and Enzo are vampires, what exactly did it do to them this time? Is it still on the same lines? What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments below. Because we definitely have the whole summer to try to figure out what exactly is behind the bony hand that kind of came up behind Enzo before taking him. So with that said, let's move on to predictions now. Hang on. Alright, so predictions. Season 8 news, everybody. So CW Upfronts revealed that Vampire Diaries is staying on Friday nights at 8 o'clock. So, same night as before, and we're going to be seeing it back in October. So it's just the summer they get to wait for it. And also, based on a wiki page that I found, it seems that we are going to get Stefan, Damon, Bonnie, Caroline, Alark, and Enzo back. There's no news about whether Matt is coming back. And also, again, Season 8 is going to be Bonnie's last season. Season 8 is said to be Damon's last season, too, so that's an issue there. Also, since it is May 29th, I found an article that stated that Elena is confirmed to return Season 8. To what extent or how much is unclear, but she has been listed as a special guest star, so there is that. Also, that article came with possible drama that could come from this return between Ian Somerhalder, Nina Dobrev, and Nikki Reed. Apparently, for me, I would just say suck it up, Buttercups, because this is a professional gig. And essentially, the TV show has a bunch of fans who want to see not only a reunion between the two characters, but a reunion or a return in the character itself. So it's not like your job is your actual life. So it's not like just because one character returns doesn't mean it's a return on a different level type thing. I don't know. It's just I hope that none of that drama really messes with how the story is supposed to progress. But yeah, so anyways, predictions for Season 8. Question and theory time. What is the creature inside the vault? Now, with the way it's been set up, I've always been getting these flash reminders of Silas when he was first revealed back in episode 423. And I kept always coming back to it. And then we also see that the creature does mimic the human voice. We saw that with Yvette calling out to Alex for 4 years, even though Yvette died. So there's that. And also in this episode, we get Elena's voice being used by the creature. So, which kind of had me remembering Silas's reveal, because before we found out that Silas was actually Stefan's doppelganger, we first see Silas as the Petrova doppelganger face, as Elena, as Nina Dova portraying Silas, giving us the idea that, oh, Silas is a Petrova doppelganger before it was revealed that's actually Stefan. So, that's why I kept thinking Silas again, because of the fact that we got Elena's voice, so maybe the creature takes on whatever form. I'll get back to that as well. Could take on any form, so maybe it's whoever the person desires most to see is who this creature takes the form of, kind of like a shapeshifter I'm going to be thinking of. I have other references, but I'll get back to that as well. Also, Virginia had mentioned previously that the creature in the vault took away her ancestors' ability to feel anything, compassion, love, anything like that. So I'm thinking maybe it's kind of like they flipped the human version of their humanity switch, because that's kind of what it sounds like. If you take away compassion, love, and all that emotion, you basically get an emotion-free vampire, in a sense. So I'm wondering if we're going to get that for the humans. And it's actually when she said that they take away all this emotions and stuff, which led the person to committing heinous crimes, like killings and all that, it reminded me of Amara from the show Supernatural. There's the timer. She actually sucks the souls out of her victims, and she leaves behind a body without a soul. And the body without a soul has no inhibitions. They act on their baser instincts with nothing tying them back, because the soul is basically holding all your emotion, all of your morals, everything that makes you a human is tied to your soul. And if your soul is taken away from you, your body is basically just running on basic instinct. If they want to hunt, they hunt. If they want to kill, they kill. If they want to eat, they eat, type of thing, even if they don't have to eat. So it's kind of like a good and bad. So when Virginia said that there's no feeling behind it, the removal of the soul is what I thought of, which led me thinking of Amara from Supernatural, who is essentially called the Darkness. So there's that. Also, with this episode, I'm wondering if this creature is kind of like an infection. Once they get their hands on you, they kind of spread like this darkness inside, or it brings out your inner darkness to the forefront, and then it just stays with you and it lingers, and maybe that's when they take on the manifestation of the person you most desire to see. Like with Alex, she really wanted her sister back, so the voice took on that. For Damon, he really wanted Elena back, so Elena's voice came from the creature. So I'm wondering if now, as an infected person, maybe then Damon is always going to see, whenever this creature talks to Damon, maybe he's going to see it as Elena's face. And maybe that's how we're going to see Nina Dobrev back. Every time Damon talks with this vault creature, if she's not actually just a voice inside his head, and she's a manifestation in front of him that only he sees, or maybe kind of like with Silas and his mind games and all that. So maybe that's how we'll see Nina Dobrev, or maybe it's just her voice that we're going to hear with inside Damon's head as he commits all these heinous crimes around the country. So definitely a lot of different theories. I'm thinking of what this vault creature is. I'm really thinking she's kind of like, or it's kind of like Silas in the fact of power-wise, manipulation of everything around you, infections of some kind. I'm still thinking of Amara from Supernatural. She could take the form of whatever the most desired, like I said, the creature could be, which is kind of what the siren from Supernatural does. Even though they have like this bony-like appearance to whoever their target is, they take on the form of whoever they most desired, whether it's their perfect woman, or if it's a brotherly figure, or it's like anything like that. They could be a creature of like that type, and then putting them under their spell to commit all these heinous crimes, which is what Siren from Supernatural does. So that's always an option there. But what do you guys think this creature in the vault is, and how do you think they're going to find it or figure out what it actually is that they have to deal with, and how are they going to get Damon and Enzo back to how they were? Because I think it's a lot more than them just switching their humanity off, or having their humanity switch forced off, in a sense. And what could they possibly be doing, stringing up those people in a warehouse? Let me know in the comments below what you think is going to happen in the next season, as well as your own thoughts, theories, predictions on any character in particular, or how you think it's going to go. Let me know. I want to hear about it as well. We got the whole summer to talk about it. First chance we're going to hear anything is going to be in July at the San Diego Comic-Con. So we got a few months to wait, guys, but it's bound to be fantastic. So that's about for today. Comment below, please. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. Also, if you want a more detailed recap of the episode, check out my live journal entry. Link for that is down below. You got a more detailed version of what happened in jot note form, as well as my thoughts that occurred while I was watching the episode for the first time. So go check that out. Also, if you want to check out my Tumblr page, a link for that is down below for the episode. I'm a little behind on updating that, but otherwise you would see web clips, promos, sneak peeks, quotes, GIFs, and all that there. So go check that out. Follow me there too if you like, because eventually I will have that updated. I'm thinking of actually getting back to that maybe this week or next week after everything with work dies down again, and the fact that I'm still recovering from my cold, so we'll see how I feel. But yeah, so that's about it. Thank you guys for tuning in. So sorry for the delay again. I do plan on doing one more video for this season of the Vampire Diaries. It's basically I'm just gonna count down to my top 5 favorite moments. I hope you tune in to see what I have to say about that, as well as I also have an upfront video I'm gonna do again. So check that out. And until then, this is Mel wishing you all a great day, great week wherever you are. Enjoy the weather outside, and have a great day. Bye for now.